Hey, what's going on, guys? David Odlin here with Robert Drysdale. We're in a special episode here of Breaking the Guard where we're going to be going over the brackets for the ADCC 2019 World Championships. We're going to just focus on day one action, all right, which is 2 matches for the men, 1 match for the women. And let's not waste any time. Robert, we're at the men's 66 kilo division.
This division we have had, it's been dominated by a number of people in the past. I think that Hoyler was really dominant for a minute, and then Leo was the guy, and then Rafael Mendes was the guy, and then Cobrinha was dominated, and now it's kind of like open. Like, who's going to be the next reigning champion for the 66 kilo division? Look, a lot of big names. I'm excited to see a lot of the young and up-and-coming grapplers. But let's start with the name Paulo Miao. He's at the top of the bracket there against Kenta Iwaoto. I'm guessing he's from Japan.
That was good pronunciation.
I don't know about that. Like, someone speaks Japanese, probably correcting me right now. But, I'm going to go with Paulo just because it's Paulo Miao.
Yeah.
Although, I'll be frank with you, I don't think that their style is a great style for Nogi because it's very difficult to finish sweeps unless you got something to hold on to.
Yes.
Right? Especially that open guard kind of style. So I think that a lot of guard players are a little hurt in a Nogi game, especially in ADCC where you have to practically pin the guy to score the point. Getting to turtle is not enough, right? So, but I'm going to go with Paulo in that first fight.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I do share that assessment. I don't think Paulo's going to go all the way through, but he's definitely getting by that first one. And that brings us to our second matchup on the top left side of the bracket, which is Jamil Hill versus Nicky Ryan.
Well, that's going to be. It's interesting because they're both American. They're both up and coming, right? They're both very young. Yeah. I think Jamil has the experience on Nicky. I'm always been very impressed with Lloyd Irvin's camp.
Yep.
He is. I probably consider him the best American coach in the sport. I think that's fair to say. He's put out a lot of good guys. Jamil is, someone that was, bred inside Lord Irvin camp and very dominant. I haven't seen him in Nogi much.
That's
Nicky specializes in Nogi, so there's that. I'm leaning towards Jamil because of the experience. But the Nogi, his lack of experience Nogi, I'm assuming, I haven't seen him much Nogi, I could be wrong, does give Nicky an edge because that's all he does, right? So, I don't know, Dave.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, because I haven't seen a match with Jamil doing Nogi. I've seen him doing great with the gi. So, and then we have Nicky, who's all Nogi. So I'm kind of, I want Jamil to win, but I think Nicky's got the edge here. So I'm going to go with Nicky on this one. Okay. Again, I love the Team Lloyd Irvin guys, but I don't know. I just think practically, I think Nicky will probably have the edge in this. So I'll put him down, and then take us to our next match now, which is Augusto Mendes with Keith Krikorian.
I think Augusto Mendes is my favorite in the whole bracket. I'll be up front with you. I think Augusto Mendes deserves an ADCC title. He's been one of my favorite guys for a long time. He's got a very unusual game for a lightweight because normally the guys in this division want to be on bottom. Very few guys in this division want to be on top. And Augusto does play guard. We just don't see him there very often because he accepts being on top, right? But he's got a very wrestling-oriented game, which in ADCC we know is a huge factor. So I see Augusto having an edge over everyone in this bracket. My personal opinion, I think he's the favorite to win the whole thing. But Keith he's a young kid too, up and coming. I know of him because he grappled Max at a tournament in Portland a while ago, and I thought Max was going to win the whole thing, but this kid beat Max, so I know he's definitely up there. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think Tanquinho is also the favorite here.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to win this one.
He's unsweepable. In that division, I don't see anyone sweeping that kid ever.
And he also has the experience. I think this is Keith's first go at ADCC. And again, coming from a no time limits rules where he competes a lot in, this is going to be a big shift. And you're going against a vet who's very well skilled.
And the other thing, too, is I was going to say, Augusto Mendes' experience is, I think he's probably the most experienced guy in the whole bracket. I'm looking at the bracket now. Him and Frazato are the most experienced ones.
Yeah, Frazato will be next.
And then we got Gio Martinez and Mateus Gabriel. Now, this is an interesting matchup to me, and I think we're going to agree on this because Gio was very submission-only oriented, very no-gi. Mateus Gabriel is strictly gi. I've never seen him no-gi. I could be wrong. Maybe he's exceptional. I've just never seen it, very much like Jamil. But Mateus Gabriel really impressed me in the featherweight division of the World Championship this year. I had never heard of him. And he walked in, he was beating guys that on paper he's not supposed to beat, and he was beating them, right? So he's on fire right now. I think it's an interesting matchup. It's hard. It's hard. I have a hard time picking the favorite because Matheus had an exceptional performance at the Worlds, but Gio does have more, at least nogi experience, right?
Yeah, and I believe this is his second go at ADCC. I'm gonna go with Gio. I don't know much about Matheus either, so that's not a knock on him. I just don't know about him. But I know Gio, and he's a very dangerous competitor too. Very good submission, so it'll be interesting to see. He's probably the best guy out of 10th Planet, I think.
I would agree.
And now we are on the top right side of the bracket with Pablo Mantovan
and Thomas Halpin.
Yes.
I hope I didn't butcher his last name. But I'm going to go with Pablo on this one, Dave. More experience, very successful IBJJF competitor. And even though a lot of these guys, the IBJJF circuit has always been more gi-oriented, even though there's that, there's also a factor that these guys, by the time they get to ADCC, they have well over 100 competitions under their belt. Yeah. Like a guy like Pablo probably has like 400 or 500 matches in his life, right? So that experience counts. Like you're in that competition circuit where you're every weekend competing to score, like the IBJJF Opens. And in Brazil, they don't have IBJJF Opens all the time, but they have tournaments going on every weekend. So this guy has a lot of experience. I don't know about Thomas. I don't know where he's going to be as far as, his matchup stylistically against Pablo, but I know Pablo is very experienced.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't know much about either of them. I know Thomas, I believe, is coming from Ireland. I think he was a European trials champ. I could be wrong there. But like you said, even in that part of the world, they don't have as much competition, so he definitely doesn't have the experience there. And then next up, we have Bruno Frazado versus Tai Rotula, and then this is another experience.
It is, and it's interesting. I just noticed Pablo, Bruno, and Tai are all from Atos, and it's interesting to me to put everyone you guys are all cancel each other out the first, second round.
Yeah, they had said that in the rules meeting that there was, particularly with this division, there was a lot of people in the same camp, and they're going to take them out within the first 2 rounds. So there's no people who are bowing out in the finals.
So they did that, and I'm gonna go with Frazato with the experience. But again, you get these young kids, man. They're so hungry. And they got everything to prove. So there's that element of I don't care. I'm just gonna go out there, and it's almost like reckless, but it works in their favor because they can take so. Bruno's got to be more. It's almost like he's got an obligation to win.
Yeah, Rotula, he's a last minute replacement. He doesn't really have anything to lose here. He's got everything to win. So it's a good shot for him. But yeah, I think Frazato will take that one.
And moving forward, we got Gianni Grippo. I think he's one of the favorites to win the whole thing. I think that's fair to say. Mm-hmm. Richard Alarcon. I don't know Alarcon. I don't know him too. I've never heard of him, but it doesn't say much in ADCC. Man, we had one of our guys from Nashville, Tennessee, Alex. He beat Gianni Grippo at the Pan Am's Nogi just like a couple weeks ago, and he's up and coming guy. Same thing. So you never know, right? Yeah. I think Gianni is an open guard player, and like Paulo Mial, that style is hurt when it comes to Nogi. I think that the guys with that style don't, because they lack. It's so hard to hold someone down from a sweep, especially in ADCC where it's got to be guard or half guard or side control, And it's guys scramble so well and they're so athletic. I think that style is on its way out when it comes to ADCC. I think we're going to see less and less of it in the future, and the guys are going to be dominating. Guys are more of a top player, like wrestling oriented, right? But Gianni's certainly more experienced, and I still put him in one of the favorites in the whole division.
Yeah, I agree. I think Gianni will take this. Like I said, I don't know much about Richard either. Right. And again, not a knock on him. Sorry, I haven't seen you compete much. So I'll go with Gianni there. And that brings us to our final match, which is Kennedy Maciel and Juan Alvarenga.
I know the name Juan. I'm trying to remember where I know him from, but I've seen him compete before. I think there's a lot of pressure on Kennedy because he's bringing a son. And they're like, oh, is he going to take the crown? He belonged to his father. It's going to be his now. I think that the experience is not quite there, I think he's got an edge on Juan. Don't know much about Juan. But I'd be compared to the rest of the guys in the bracket. I don't see Kennedy being a favorite, to be honest. But I think he's he could potentially, you never know. I think this side of the bracket is a little more balanced. Or on this side, I just can't see anyone beating Augusto Mendes, to be honest. But you never know.
Yeah, so we went through first rounds. So then second rounds, on the top left, we have Miao, and we were kind of split. I think you had Jamal.
You had Nikki.
And I had Nikki. So then the winner of that next match.
It's a tough one, man. Yeah, because I think Miao is going to have the experience edge over both, but it's that open guard style is a rough one. ADCC, man, like those guys don't do, you can get up. But Paulo Miao his guard is unpassable. You cannot pass his guard, but it's hard to finish sweeps. So it might go overtime, and overtime it comes down to the wrestling, and I think Jamil would have that advantage over Paulo Miao. But you have Nicky on that one. You cannot footlock Paulo Miao. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you can try. I mean, you can burn your energy trying, but like it's I think it's up in the air. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky one for exactly the reasons you outlined. Yeah. I'm not sure who would win that. I'm just still going to lean towards either. If it's Jamal or Nicky, I'll lean towards either one. I don't know because I'm just going for the American.
Yeah, could be, man. But like honestly, it's just Paulo's game. It's a difficult game. It doesn't translate as well. So. And then moving forward, we have Augusto Mendes and Gio Martinez is kind of up in the air as well. I personally think Augusto will beat them both, just because he's not someone you can take down or sweep very easily. And he's got really good wrestling, very strong. I've trained with Augusto. His name is Tunkin, which means a little tank. He does feel like a little tank on top of it. It's crazy how heavy he feels considering his weight. Yeah, because he's in the 66 kilo division, but he feels like someone in our weight class or my weight class.
Absolutely.
I'm heavier than you these days.
Our weight class.
I can't stop. Our weight class. Right? We used to be in the same weight class.
All right, and now we go to the other side of the bracket.
I blame In and Out. That's all I'm saying, man. It's right by my house. All right, so
we got then either Jamal or Nicky in the top left, and then we have
Augusto Mendes, yes,
on the bottom left, and then on the top right, I think Frazado is
Pablo and Frazado. I'm going to go with Frazado on that one. Yeah. And the bottom one is in between Gianni and Kennedy. Hard to say.
I think Gianni again, just the experience, but you never know. But I'll go with the experience edge there. And you agree?
I think Gianni's definitely more experienced. Yes. So probably a little edge over Kennedy there.
Okay. So that wraps up the 66 kilo. We'll move now to the next division, which I think is probably going to be the most exciting division. This is exciting because
it's very dynamic. One, man. I'm actually really excited about the heavyweights. I've never been so excited about the heavyweight division. We're gonna get this.
Yeah, the heavyweights is great. Yeah.
But this tends to be more dynamic, right? So we have JT Torres opening the bracket with Ross Nichols, JT, and we agree. Okay, John Combs and DJ Jackson. Yeah, I know I like DJ to death. I'm just gonna go with John Combs because I think that he's, dude. If you've seen his match with Cyborg in the Nogi Worlds, I put him with the top 5 American grapplers. Like he's like at least the up and coming generation. Like he's up there, man.
Well, they actually competed against each other before. Yeah. DJ submitted him with the Squeezel Diesel,
which
is a guillotine variation.
Okay. So DJ has he's 1-0, at least 1-0, right?
At least 1-0 that I know of.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So John is probably winning revenge against DJ. So me and Dave are split on that one. It could go either way. Like I could totally see DJ beating him. I just like John, man. I always liked that kid. He's been a very, very humble kid. I've known him for a long time, and I really root for him. Moving forward, we have Gary Tonin and Mateusz Gamrot. Mm-hmm. I know Mateusz. I was just training with him in Poland. Yeah, he's a very skilled MMA fighter. He's doing ADCC just because he's an overall badass. Like he's one of those guys, right?
Just to get some more rounds.
You can have him play golf, and he'd probably do well. He's just one of those guys. But he's up against Gary Tonin, one of the favorites for the division, I'd say. I think that he is definitely. I mean, Gary is a favorite for this fight, but I've trained with Mateusz. He can impress just about anyone. Yeah. He's surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he outdid Gary. It wouldn't blow my mind. I wouldn't consider it an upset. Right. But I think it's
the odds are favoring.
The odds are certainly in Gary's favor.
Yeah, I would agree. And then moving on, we have Renato Canuto with Oliver Taza. I think I'm gonna go with Renato just because we train with him and he's just. He's a very intelligent competitor. Yeah. He knows he
rises to the occasion. Yes, and he competes well, no doubt.
Yeah, and I think he will overcome Oliver. He's also good at not getting in trouble with his legs, because there's a lot.
He's a very wiry kind of like wet noodle kind of guy, and he's very hard to get a hold of because he's so relaxed when he moves. Yeah. So I think and that's the one domain where Oliver would have an advantage over Canuto, maybe. Yeah. Maybe, but I think everywhere else, Canuto, generally speaking, is more well-rounded.
For sure.
Moving forward, Lucas Lepri. I put it Lucas Lepre next to JT Torres, the two favorites for this division. Then I guess got Edwin down there too. There's
there's a lot.
Stacked, man.
It's a lot of
It's gonna
guys
be fun.
there.
But Lucas Lepre and Lachlan Giles, I've known Lachlan for a long time. I just don't see him beating Lucas. It could happen. You never know, man. Like I know he's improved a lot over the last few years. But like Lucas on top, he's like the Augusto Mendes of that, the 77 kilo. He's just like so tight when he's on top, man. I have never had the opportunity to train with him, but people rave about his passing game. You know, like so this pressure is surreal. So I don't know, can Lachlan get underneath him and tack his legs? Clearly, Lucas Lepre is aware of it. It's not because he's gonna be surprised when he walks in there.
Yeah, I know. Giles has been working on his wrestling a lot too in anticipation because he felt that's what cost him the last ADCC.
Yeah.
So he might be able to, but then again, it's. I saw that match. I'm like, damn, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
But for both, it's not an easy first rounder. So.
Then Dante Leon and Jonathan Satava, same thing, up and coming Americans.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I'm not too. I know Dante. I don't know Satava too well. So
I've been following Satava since he was a purple belt. I think they're equally matched. I think it could go either way. But Dante really impressed me the last Nogi Worlds. So I think it's a close one, man. Yeah, go either way.
All right. And then we got Wagner Rocha and Servio Tulio. And Rocha is a veteran. I think he took a bronze in 2017 in very good back attacks and kind of like what we talked about, where you have a style that favors attacking the back and finishing there. And he's got his infamous smother choke that he's worked with people. I think he's obviously one of the guys who can make a running for this
I think
division.
He's one of the favorites, too.
Yeah.
He's up there. I mean, but Servio's no joke. He won the Brazilian trials. Super competitive. She's Felipe Pena's main training partner in Brazil, so they prepared. He's got solid training partners. Could go either way, man. Servio's legit. I know Servio. I've been following him for a long time. He's legit. He's up there.
And then finally, we have Edwin Nanji
and Celso Vinicius. Edwin, fan favorite, very articulate, very just an overall badass, good everywhere. Celso Vinicius got the best deep half guard in the business, if you ask me. But he's from my generation, man. The fact that he's still competing here is like, kudos to Celso Vinicius because we won the World's gi the same year, 2005.
Oh, wow.
We're in 2019, man. This guy's still out there.
He's still out there doing it.
Yeah, I do give Edwin the edge here just because it's the youth, and he's just one of those guys that he's dangerous everywhere. Like, there's no place where Edwin is like, oh, he's going to be easier to beat here. I can't think of a position where Edwin is going to be easy to beat. So he's another favorite in the bracket, no doubt.
Okay, and then if we sum up then to who's going to get to the semifinals. So on the top left, we said JT Torres. And then we were between John Combs and DJ Jackson. You had John, I had DJ, and I'd still have to say JT is the favorite to get into the semis.
I think JT is. No, out of the semis, for sure, JT. And then underneath, I'm already looking at the final. I'm like way ahead of you, Jeff. I'm going to go with JT as well. It's going to go Gary Tonin and Canuto most likely.
We're moving too many days. We're going to save that one for the next one.
Yeah.
We'll go semis. JT
over John Combs or DJ. I'm going to go with JT. And then underneath that, Tonin and Canuto, I'm going to go with... Canuto's beating them before.
Yeah, I think...
I'm just going to go with Canuto, man. Not by much. It could go either way, but I'm going to go with Canuto.
Yeah, I think Canuto as well. I think he's just a little smarter in the way that he's going to go for the win.
Especially in a point system that is not Gary's strong suit.
Because I know Gary likes to have fun out there, and he'll go for crazy stuff. Like he had that funny match with Wagner where he's like doing the little cartwheels and dancing around. Maybe not taking it as seriously,
but
so I think Renato is not going to play around.
No, I'm going to go with Canuto. But not by much, man. It's like this is one of those 51-49 kind of deals.
Right. And then on the top right, we said Lucas, and then
either Dante or Jonathan Satava.
And I think Lucas will probably come out on top regardless.
Yeah, I agree.
And then on the bottom, that's the interesting matchup because I think we would think Wagner and Edwin would be in the quarters, and then. But
Servio is no joke, man. So it could go either way up top. I think Wagner is the favorite, just out of experience, but Servio is very good. But I think Edwin goes to the semis. I see Edwin making it to the semis. I think just overall, just more articulate. But between him and Wagner, a tough one, man. It can go either way.
Yeah, it is definitely a tough match between them. It would be an interesting one to see. Because I know Wagner he's also another guy who's a very smart tactician. He's not gonna take any chances. Whereas Edwin's known for being more aggressive and being more.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, he's a finisher, no doubt.
I'm gonna lean towards Wagner on this one.
Okay. All right.
And now we move to the 88 kilo division, and this is one, like we said before, is wide open because there's no defending champion here. There's no even.
I'm not even a medalist. I don't think there's not even a whole medalist in the whole.
There's
division.
no medal. Oh, Craig was he took fourth,
but didn't medal technically. Yes.
Yeah, but he was
so it's still, but like it is the division that is up to grabs, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the one that Gordon Ryan won last year.
Correct.
Right? He competed the 88 kilo division.
Him and Keenan, but then Keenan unfortunately got taken out. So.
So I'm gonna go with Craig against Ben Dyson.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And Mason Fowler and Valdir Araújo.
I know Valdir comes from Cyborg's camp. He goes to BB Monster.
Yes, I know.
He's a really tough wrestling-based style. I don't know. I think Mason, he won the American trials. He's also, I believe, a wrestler. I could be wrong. Sorry if I am. But I'll go with BB Araujo.
I'm moving forward there. I'm surprised Rustam make 88 kilos. That guy's normally a monster,
he moves around in weight all the time. Yeah,
but like I don't know, man. He's
definitely one of those guys that's a dark horse. So he could always go in there and just ruin everybody's day.
And then Rustam's got John Blank. I think we're both going to go with Rustam on this one. And then underneath them, Santana and Keller Lock Sodi. Santana.
Yeah, I would think Santana there. And now on the Rustam match, not to sleep on John Blank, he's a 10th Planet product, a bigger guy for 10th Planet. Okay. Very, very good grappler. He's a combat jiu-jitsu world champion.
Okay. But
he's got good.
Sweeping Rustam is going to be.
It's going to be tricky. Yeah, but he's a good submission guy as well. He's got a couple.
Pull something off. Yeah.
He's in a couple of my Kimura Trap highlights.
Okay.
John Blank is, and he's got a lot of good submissions. So. But again, with Rustam, it's so hard. Although recently he got caught by Zanji armbar, he got caught by Lovato triangle. So
he's a typical wrestler. He's not a submission artist. Like he's just one of those guys who'll get on top of you and you can't move him, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you should say John Blank. Maybe he'll surprise Rustam. I'm going with Rustam because I know him. I've seen him.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with Rustam as well. I think the odds favor him, but like you said, I'm not going to be surprised if John's able to catch him. You know? And then top right, Josh Hinger and Gabriel Almeida. I think Hinger.
Josh,
of course. And then we have Adam
Mike
Wodzinski and Mike Perez.
I'm gonna go with. I like them both. I'm gonna go with Adam because like Adam's been. I've been following Adam's career since he was a blue belt. He's been coming to my seminars in Poland. We have a lot of friends in common. I trained with him last time I was in Poland. He's on fire, man. But Mike Perez is like a very difficult guy to beat just because of his style.
Again, he's another guy who has a good tactical style. He's able to squeak out wins and be able to. Maybe not the most exciting match, but at the end of the day, it's about the guy who gets his hand raised. You know, and if you know how to do that, you know.
But like Adams are the best butterfly guard in the business. You know, and I play butterfly, and I'm telling you, Adams got the best butterfly in the business. So it's a game that translates really well, no-gi. You got to keep that in mind. Yeah. So moving forward. Matheus Diniz and Pedro Marinho. I think Matheus all day.
Yeah, I agree.
And then underneath them, Gabriel Arges and Alec Balding. Gabriel Arges.
Yes.
Fair enough?
Fair enough. And then that brings us to the quarterfinal matches. Craig Jones and we said Araujo. I think Craig Jones.
I think Craig's on that one.
And then we have Rustam and Santana.
More Santana. I'm going to go with, I think Rustam, man. Actually, I hate those guys. Like, they're the hardest guys to beat, in my opinion, man. Like, just the guys that you can't sweep them, you can't get underneath them, you know. But Murillo's Murillo, man. But I think Rustam stylistically might have an edge, you know.
I'll go with Rustam as well. I always love a good Russian going in there,
yeah,
throwing a monkey wrench.
yeah.
And then I think Hinger
and Adam. Adam or Mike Perez. Go either one, but I'm going to go with Josh regardless. Yeah, I think Josh definitely
will come out on top.
Favorite in division.
And then the good matchup here with Matheus and Arges. That one I don't know who to. I'm going to lean towards Matheus, but I don't know.
I'm going to lean towards Matheus just because he's got. When I think of Arges, I always think of him like in guard. He's a very good guard, but I think Matheus got good wrestling. And I know I keep saying this, but I truly believe that ADCC rules are very wrestling oriented.
Yeah.
You know, they're standing oriented, especially when you get into overtime, you know, and you can't pull guard. Oh, you can, you're going to be penalized. So the better wrestler is going to have the edge.
And now we go to the 99 kilo division, and we have Gordon Ryan versus Ben Hodgkinson. That's a tough matchup for Ben.
Yeah, Gordon's on fire. You got to give it to him.
Yeah.
And then we have Tim Spriggs and Felipe Andrew, my boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I like Tim. I liked him. He's explosive. He's dangerous. But Felipe is ranked number 3 in the world, man. You guys know that? You know that?
No,
it was Buchecha. I think the second is low in the gi, right? Felipe is number 3, and in the world. So like, when people like talking about inviting Felipe, I don't know if she's like, what are you talking about? He's not even a question. He's more accomplished than half the bracket. Like actually, like what were you guys talking about? Not inviting Felipe? It's crazy. So I'm gonna go with Felipe, but Tim's legit, man. So it's one of those like 51-49. I'm just being completely biased.
Yeah,
admittedly.
I'm gonna do the same thing, but the other way.
Yeah, I'm completely biased here, so I admit it.
If Tim can pull off his train wreck,
Yeah.
it ruins anybody's day.
Yeah,
if he puts
absolutely.
you on your head.
Lucas Barboza and Pertu Tiponen. Probably murder that, but Lucas Barboza, I think, is one of the favorites in division.
Yeah,
Agreed?
I think the Hulk is definitely gonna be the guy to beat here.
Yeah.
And then you have Patrick Audio and Miraz
Avdoyan. I don't
There
know.
you go. That
I
sounds good.
I say it fast.
You sold it.
I
Yeah.
say it fast. People under the impression I know, don't. But
I think
Patrick all day.
Patrick
Patrick all day. And then Vinny
with Dan Martinez.
Vinny all
I
day.
think Vinny for sure. And then Tex Johnson
And
versus James Popolo. That's a good
Tex
matchup.
Johnson all day.
Yeah.
I think they're the same camp because I think Tex Johnson's representing Riberos.
Oh, okay.
And then James Popolo is Lovato's student, who's also Ribeiro. So
Oh,
it's
so
not a
they
coincidence that they're in the
put him
first
in.
round. Yeah, they're doing that to all brackets. And then Jackson Souza and Paulo Jose. I don't know Paulo Jose. Maybe if I see him, I'd recognize him. But so I'm going to go with Jackson.
Likewise.
And Vinicius Ferreira and Paul Ardilla. Vinicius is legit, man. I know Vinicius. Very good top game, kind of like the Rustam kind of game.
Okay.
Probably more aggressive with the passing. But I don't know Paul Ardilla, so maybe you can comment.
No, unfortunately, I don't know who Paul Alderla is either. So
I think it's a recent invite. Like it was, I think the Keenan jumped out and then Paul jumped in. I think that's what happened. I could be wrong.
yeah, I'm not sure. But so we got that. Then we go to the quarterfinal matches. We got Gordon, and then again we're still disputing between Felipe or Tim. I think again it's another one of those right there, Gordon.
I'm gonna go. I'm rooting for Felipe.
Yeah.
I think Gordon is a favorite. I would never call Felipe or Tim an underdog.
Right.
In terms remember, Felipe is ranked number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
You can't call that guy an underdog against anyone. He could be Buchecha, and that would not make him an underdog. You're number 3 in the world. As per the IBJJF rankings. So, but I think Gordon is a favorite.
I
agree.
think
I want
Tim to win, of course, but Gordon is definitely the favorite here just by his reputation.
But Felipe's got vicious footlocks. If Gordon gets funny with those footlocks, careful, man. Like Felipe's got the best straight footlocks in the game. And a straight footlock is not a matter of, I'm going to get out. You can't get out of a straight footlock if it's on. You cannot tap, but it's one of those things like getting out is very, very difficult thing to do.
It's much trickier, yeah.
Yes. So.
And then we have the Hulk with
Patrick
Gaudio.
Gaudio. I'm going to go with Gaudio on that one. I think he's a better wrestler, even though Lucas' wrestling really impressed me at the No-Gi Grand Prix. You tell me, Dave. Thoughts?
I'm going to lean on the Hulk just from that recent performance. And then we have, I think, Vinny is going to come out on top against Tex.
The thing is, you can't footlock Vinny. It's such an advantage. Like Vinny is like born with those like crazy joints. Like you can't armbar him. You can't footlock him. So he's a hard guy. You have to basically outposition him or choke him, which is hard to do because
he's only been submitted once as a black belt, I believe, and that was by Roger Gracie, which is not really a knock.
I'm surprised if you don't get submitted by Roger Gracie. That's what's surprising. All right, and then Jackson and we're gonna go with
Vinicius.
Yeah, I said Vinicius, but I
would go with you because
I'm gonna go with. I like Jackson. He's a good friend of mine, but I'm gonna go with Vinicius on this one stylistically. It's a bad matchup for Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah. If that match ends up happening, right, I'm gonna go with Vinicius.
Okay, so then we got Gordon. And we're disputing between Hulk and
and then
Vinny,
yes,
and then again Vinicius.
Vinicius over Jackson, yes.
All right, the final men's division with the 99 kilo plus. We got Buchecha with Antonio Braga Neto.
So Buchecha all day, favorite of the bracket, fair to say. But again, a lot of good guys here, man. Antonio Braga Neto I fought him twice at the last time I competed at IBJJF Worlds. Like he's a little bit younger than me, I think, but like he's just not. he has been in the competition circuit the last 5-10 years, whatever, right? So Marcos Almeida is, to me, the most impressive guy to watch in BJJ because every single time you think this guy is going to lose, he does something completely unexpected and pulls off the win with 10 seconds left. Yeah. He does it over and over and over. So Buchecha all day.
I agree. And then we have Jared Dopp and Victor Hugo.
I'm going to go with Jared, better wrestler. I saw Victor is a big kid out of the Riberos, I believe. Maybe I'm misquoting. He was in the Grand Prix, but Jared's got better wrestling. So I think Victor Hugo actually plays guard, so he's probably going to pull guard on Jared. Yuri versus Elliot Marshall. I like Elliot, good friend. Yuri is top 4 in the whole bracket. So, and twice ADCC champion.
Yeah, he's actually going for a record to win third.
In 3 different divisions.
3 different divisions.
He's up to break a record.
A champion. So this is, again, we were talking about, we kind of forgot about it, but this is, again, the most talented division in terms of rankings because you have 4 returning champions.
Yes.
With Buchecha, Yuri, Cyborg, and Big O, Orlando Sanchez. So, and they've been placed in the opposite corners of the bracket. Yeah. I think rightly so.
Yeah, I agree.
There's going to be some very interesting semifinal matches, I think. But yeah, I agree with Yuri winning that one against Marshall. And then I think it's Kanye Duarte and Elder
Rafigaev. I'm going to go with Kainan out of experience and how well Kainan has been doing recently.
Yes.
But it's not his division. I have no idea what he's doing. The 99. He's definitely division below. Yeah. So he's probably the lightest guy in the whole division. Orlando Sanchez versus Mateusz Juskowiak. I'm going to go with, he's Polish, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Based off the name. But Orlando's up there with Buchecha in this division, if you ask me.
Yeah, he's like a hard guy to beat. I think he's the closest version of the Juggernaut from the comic books that we can get here.
He's a human version, 100%. That should be his nickname, yeah.
And then they have Nick Rodriguez with Muhammad Ali. And this is a very interesting matchup because you have 2 guys who have very good stand-up games, but from different stylings. Muhammad is more of a judo stylist, and then you have Nick Rodriguez who's coming from that wrestling.
I'm going to go with Muhammad Ali based off the experience. Nick's very young, and he just got into the circuit. He did really well at the trials, but there's a big difference between trials and the actual thing, right? Yeah. But, because it's a stand-up match, it could go either way. Yep. I'm just leaning towards Muhammad based off the experience.
Yeah, and Muhammad, both of these guys look like superheroes.
Yeah.
They're completely jacked out of their mind.
Yes. I saw Muhammad Ali downstairs a few minutes ago.
He's 261, I think they said.
261?
And he's shredded. So it's scary.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to do another
scary for these guys. Yeah.
So what I like about this, though, the winner of that is going to face Big O most likely. And that's going to be
you can't take Big O down.
Yeah, well, that would be the question.
He's already on the ground. How do you take down a Volkswagen Beetle?
Super athletes take down Orlando Sanchez.
That'd be interesting.
And then on the bottom of the bracket, we have Cyborg with Hudson Taylor.
Cyborg, fair enough.
And then Max Jimenez with John Hansen.
I know Max. Max is legit. I'm going to go with Max on that one.
And then the quarterfinals, we have Buchecha with Jared Dopp. I think Buchecha. And we have Yuri Simos and Kanyan.
Yuri.
Yeah, I think Yuri as well. And then we have Orlando Sanchez with the winner between Nick or Muhammad. I think Big O is still.
I'm going with Big O all the way the finals with Buchecha.
Big O for the win. Yeah. And then Cyborg, I think, is going to take the bottom of the bracket. So if we're playing it safe, conservative, all the champions are going to make it to the semis. But chances are we're wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
Chances are there's going to be somebody that gets out. All right, and now finally we'll finish with the women's, and we're only going to talk about the first matchup because the women's will do the final.
It's a smaller bracket, yes.
It's an 8-woman division, and we have Bia Mesquita with Jenna Bishop.
I know Jenna followed her in tournaments or commentated with her husband before, Tyler. She's one of the better up and coming American female grapplers out there, no doubt, but I think it's fair to say B is the favorite to win the whole division. Yeah. She's 8 times world champion, the black belt level, I believe. I think it's 7 or 8.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Records, yeah.
So B, I think it's fair that she's the favorite for this fight.
I think Bia for sure. And then we have Fiona Davies with
Rikako Yuasa.
Yuasa, yeah.
Fiona Davies, I'm going to go with her. But Rikako's legit. I've seen Rikako. I mean, she's a very, very skilled competitor. But Fiona Davies, I think it's fair to say she's the favorite. Bianca Basile, they misspelled her name. I know that much. Bianca's like, she has that open guard kind of style versus Livia Giles. I know Livia way back in the day when she was training under Thiago, a good friend of mine in Australia. I'm going to go with Bianca of the experience, but again, her style is not very ADCC, friendly.
But this is not her first go-around, though. I believe she was in last year's, or the 2017 as well. I think she was the one that...
So.
She's the one that I believe that beat Elvira in the semis.
Could be.
And it was a very close matchup. So, yeah, I would think Bianca would still do well here. And then on the bottom of the bracket, we have Elvira I don't know how to say it.
Karppinen.
Yeah. And then Catherine Perret. And
I don't know Elvira, but I know Catherine well. She got checkmate camp, very solid camp, very, very experienced as well. So I'm going to lean towards Catherine on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Elvira just from the... we had misspoke. Last time she was the one that beat Mackenzie Dern in 2017.
Oh, wow.
So she was the upset because she was placed bottom of the sea. So she ended up beating
Is she Finnish?
She's Finnish,
yes.
Yeah. And she's a 10th Planet product.
Okay.
And on the lineup today, she was actually the biggest woman there. So I think she's got some size to her advantage.
In the 60 kilo, the below 60 kilo division? She was
60, yeah. Okay. From what I've seen, Bia, I think it might have been close. At least tallest.
Yeah.
Was Elvira, but I think it'll be a good matchup there. So we have that, and then that finishes up the under 60. And then the final division we're talking about, 60 plus. We have Gabby Garcia with Stephanie Egger.
Stephanie, I know Stephanie. I don't think I know Stephanie. No.
I think it's Stephanie. Oh no, that's someone else. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, so Gabby, all the way.
Yeah,
skip. And then not putting Stephanie down. She's like Gabby's like she's a monster, man.
Yeah,
like,
I'll just be like this: Gabby versus anybody.
It is anybody. Always put her in the men's division.
Yeah,
she's okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Amanda Levy. And Ana Carolina Vieira. Anna's way too light for that division, but I love Ana. She's such a sweetheart, man.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Vieira here.
Yeah, me too. But she's very tiny for that division.
Yeah,
I mean, compared to the other girls
she was
she's
definitely
up
the smallest one there. Yeah, she was definitely the smallest one there. And then on the top, you have Tiana
Porfirio.
There you go.
She's big. She's bigger than Gabby.
Yeah.
And Jessica Flowers. Tayani's plays guard, believe it or not. She's bigger than Gabby, but she'll pull guard and play guard. I've seen her. She's legit.
I believe they said actually Jessica Flowers has a win over Gabby recently.
There we go. So that's an interesting matchup then. I know. Yeah. I mean, you could. I don't know Jessica Flowers too well. I know Tayani, and she's actually very technical for her size, surprisingly. Yeah.
And then the final matchup, Natalie De Jesus and Karina Santi.
I'm going to... Natalie is favorite in the bracket. I'm going to go like the top three in the bracket is Gabby, Tayani, and Natalie Jesus. Natalie is like tall and like lean, but very dynamic guard, very skilled competitor, very experienced. She comes back in the day from the Cicero Costa camp. A lot of good people came out of that camp. I don't know Karina, to be honest, so I'm just going to go with her, but Natalie is a very, very skilled competitor.
I agree. All right. Well, then that wraps up all the predictions we have for day one. What do you guys think? If we have it right, wrong?
You know what? I think that we'll be right about like maybe 60-70% of the time. And then there's going to be like 30-40.
If we're over 70%, man, I think we're doing pretty good.
We're going to start betting day. That's what we got to do.
Oh, no. Don't. That's when you get in trouble. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you've enjoyed our reviews here. Let us know your thoughts and if your opinions on our predictions. And tune in for tomorrow. We'll go over what happened after day one. This is the aftermath.
See you guys next time. Ciao.